people often ask me what was the hardest part about being the first woman in this kind of area. And I'll tell you what I've had to work the hardest at, and this is more than learning players' names and injuries and getting, you know, my info and prep and all that kind of stuff. It's the relationships with my co-hosts. That's what I invest. Not so much now because, hand on heart, we are the bestest of friends. Fatty, Bo and Big Man are 3 of my closest mates. Fatty rings me 4 times a week just to chew the fat. You know, he'll ring me up and he'll say, oh, did you get that email from Glenn? I'll be like, no, I didn't get it. Oh, just while I've got you, I was just watching this replay of an 82 game that I starred in myself. And like, it's Big Man and I talk all the time. Bowie and his wife and I are great, mate. And it's just so lovely. But that doesn't just happen. Like, I had to invest a lot of time early on in having a relationship with my co-hosts. And so that when we're on air, there was no Veronica Corningstone. When I didn't want to be feeling on air if I said something that they'd all kind of turn the other way or they'd roll their eyes. You can tell when you're watching a show. If people on a panel don't respect the person that's talking or are dismissive of them or you know, think they're there in a tokenistic role. And so I was really, and I was, you know, I showed vulnerability to them, and I was really adamant that I had a good relationship with them because I knew that I would not survive on that show unless I did.
Really safe there.
I did, and now I know they've got my back, and now but I had to work hard. It didn't just happen. You don't forge those friendships or relationships like that. I had to really invest. And you're right. Like, you know, if I was the kind of girl that was going to be offended if we're sitting in a room and a chick walks by and one of the blokes goes, oh, she's got good tits, and you know, if I was going to be like, you know what? That was totally inappropriate and I'm not comfortable with that, and you know, I wouldn't be on the show either. No. And that's not saying that I think that that's great or I condone it or that I'm not a feminist or that I, you know, but that's fucking life.
It's like even with your mates. So
exactly,
that's the thing,
and that's why we're mates, you know, and like, I think I'll say to a girlfriend of mine, oh, that bloke's good looking. Yeah. Except Sean, you're the only one I think is good looking. But you know, that's what people do. But if I know that there are women who would get offended by that, and if you know, I would not be on the show if I got offended by that. So I'm also in so many ways I'm so easygoing. Yeah. But in other ways,
it's like if you're offended, you'll say something.
And that's it. And I've done that before. You know, I've been in a situation where someone publicly has crossed the line, and I have stood up to that, and I always will. But I'm also not precious. Yes. And I'm really easygoing, and that's just, you know, part of my nature. Yeah.